So I'm Carol Grant. I am on the office marketing team, and my counterpart, Scott Shapiro, over here is also on the office marketing team. And today we're going to talk about AI in office, what that means to your organization and what that means to your end users. And along the way, we'll talk about some examples of that, and then at the end, we'll show you a really cool demo. So before getting deep into the conversation of AI in office, I just want to ground us in the new culture of work that is emerging. And I'm sure many of you that are experiencing that in your own work environments. The idea that people are moving away from routine work, routine task, into more creative and knowledge-based work. The shift that's happening from individual productivity, where it's about me and what I can accomplish on my own, to teamwork and about what we accomplish as a collective together. And then, of course, a lower tolerance for complex systems, complex information, and a hunger to really simplify the way we work. However, even with all those trends and this emerging culture, we still have challenges as a part of our reality. Growing amounts of data and information, which really make it hard to get out of that routine task and more into that knowledge, creative work, and critical thinking. More complex organizations and teams makes it even more difficult to find and connect to the people that can help you get work done. And through it all, there's still a very high expectation on the work that you have to produce. The bar is continuously being set high, and you have more information to sift through to make that happen with less time. And there's a real hard cost to that. So there was a study that was done on high-skilled workers that showed 59% of managers miss valuable information. This is information needed to make decisions, take action, simply because they don't know where the information is or they don't know that it actually exists. 28% spent managing email. I would actually argue this number is higher. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's definitely higher than 28%. And 20% time spending looking for the right people and the right information to get your work done. But there's good news. This study also showed that with the right technology and tools, these numbers could actually be reduced up to 35%. So if we think about the trends, the challenges that we're facing, everything we just discussed with those realities that we face every day at work, how does Office take AI and technology and help support these trends, help solve these issues that we're facing, removing blockers? How do we use AI to meet the needs of your business and of your end users? We see Office delivering value with AI by enhancing everyday creativity. Now, this isn't creativity in the sense of a sketch pad and a pencil, a paintbrush, graphic design. This is really creativity in terms of the high impact value work that you have to deliver every day. From a financial report that you or somebody on your team may create to provide insights to the organization, to a deployment plan that you develop to help roll out new technology to your organization. That is all aspects of creativity. And we really see this happening through three key areas of value. How we help your organization and end users tap into relevant knowledge. So just think about what we talked about with being hard to find information and find the people you need. So when we say tapping into knowledge, we mean finding and discovering the right information at the right time and the right people in the context of your work across Office. Unlocking new insights, being able to provide you valuable recommendations and information about your business data. And amplifying your work, the work of your organization. At the end of the day, People want to be able to focus on their strengths, what they're great at, be able to get help where they need it, be able to cut steps in their workflow so that they can really double down on the high value part of their work. And so this isn't just like marketing message, marketing mumbo jumbo. We've been delivering against this value for a while, for the last 2 years and more. In tools like personalized search across Office. So really, again, thinking about finding the right information at the right time across the ecosystem in services like Delve, Office.com, SharePoint at home, being able to be within the Office apps like Word or PowerPoint and pull in the information that you need to actually build out your content without having to leave. New data types in Excel, something that's coming soon. Being able to pull the information that you need within Excel and leverage that data against any analysis that you need to do. Excel's understanding that data type. They're understanding the context of the information, and they're pulling in all of that information in the context of where you are within the spreadsheet. Workplace analytics, providing new insights to help you understand the productivity of your organization so that you can help them transform even faster. Insights in Excel, another exciting feature that's coming at the end of this year. Providing proactive insights to you while you're in Excel so that you can actually focus more time on taking action on the insights and spend less time getting caught up in the data. Amplifying your work. We have great tools like Designer. I am sure you guys have seen Designer a ton in the keynotes. And it is one of those things that really talks about how people can use a built-in assistive tool to help amplify their work and help them augment their skills. So I'm not the best at creating presentations. I'm not the best at creating slides, but Designer makes it so seamless and easy for me. All I have to really do is focus on my message. Editor, one of our advanced proofing tool, which really looks at your document, the writing within your document, and is able to help you improve your professional written communication by providing the right recommendations and suggestions on how you can better write. And so these are just a few examples. This is definitely not an exhaustive list of our capabilities, but this is just to really show you guys what AI means in Office, the value that we have been delivering and that we're going to continue to deliver against. Why is Office uniquely positioned to deliver on this value? It's the data. It's the data that we have access to. It's the data that we help reason over to provide you business value. It's the data that we try to understand so that we can provide you those proactive insights. It's the data that we can help improve on how your end users are interacting with the tools so that they can get the most out of them. So as I've mentioned, we've been delivering value along AI in Office for a while now. And we've gotten some really great feedback in the market. And we're going to continue delivering that value. It's something that we're committed to. So now we're going to less tell, more show. And my counterpart, Scott, is going to come up here and do a demo of some of these cool features.
All right, how are we doing out there in the audience? This is a little lunchtime lull. Are we getting kind of interested in AI? Now, we've been saying words like AI, intelligence for years. For a lot of our end users, we gotta kind of make them feel like this isn't too scary. We can approach it in an everyday way. But I feel like as the IT folks, you're a bit of the gatekeepers. You understood, hopefully, ahead of the time, this is where it's really coming to life. We're not gonna be doing these scary big things, words like machine learning. Those aren't intimidating. They're actually just really awesome ways to do things you've been probably trying to do on your own with Office, with other productivity goals in your workplace every single day. But now our goal is to bring together those opportunities and make it easier, make it seamless, and build them into the Office suite for you. So let's dive in together and look through one of our favorite products out here, Excel. So who here uses Excel? Just about every single person. And I bet we have some folks here that call themselves experts, if you're brave enough to raise your hand, and a few people that might feel a little timid of, I'm a bit of an amateur, a little novice. I wish I could feel more confident in that capability. I personally fall a bit on the latter. I'm actually a little bit anxious when I go to use Excel, but now, as we've been building out these products, there's actually some awesome intelligence built in where even if you're a novice user like me or a bit of an expert like some folks I saw raising their hands before, these capabilities will take you to the next level and really amplify your ability to get things done no matter where your starting point is. So as we step in now to our first demo, I want to take a look with you at a new set of data types. And now I got to let you in on a little secret. This is some internal code that's been a bit shaky, so if you'll take this risk with me, I'm willing to try to see if it's going to work for us here today. If not, I've got some backup options, but this is so important and exciting to me, I want to make sure we give it a shot together. So with our data types, we've been able to understand things like numbers, words in general in Excel, but they don't always translate to a real insightful opportunity in the past. But now, we're getting ready to roll out stock and cities as two of our very first living intelligent cell types inside of Excel. So I'm going to go ahead here on the left-hand side, and we're going to type in Snap for Snapchat. All right, and so what I'm seeing here in my omniscient sense is we're about to crash Excel. Thank you. So a little bit of clairvoyancy there. I apologize for that. I'm going to give this one more try real quick and try to bring it together. Like I mentioned, this is some insider code we have working on now. As you think about, and probably been hearing a lot about Pro Plus throughout the week, this is why we do a lot of our testing in advance. So when you guys get to your monthly builds, you'll be the ones that can feel confident. We handle the mistakes on our end first. So if you guys will just kind of bear with me for a second here, I'm going to try to restart Excel, get ourselves up and running, and see if the second time's the charm here. All right, let's give this a look inside of our stock and see if Snap is in the mood. Perfect. So what we see up in here is it's actually recognizing that those three items, Microsoft, Intel, and Snap, are stock types. And this is probably about to crash again. But let's just keep on ticking and see. So what actually is happening now, if you take a look at the code data up here, it's pulling in insights from the general Bing world out there. So we're tapping into that knowledge base that's available, and instead of having to think through going to Bing.com or other places to find that stock data, it's all actually pulling in here like a live data stream that's available to you. So I'm going to go ahead and try typing in ticker here. And what you'll see is it's actually understanding right away that's a NASDAQ symbol, so it's pulling in that information for us. Another thing I want to check out is our price. And it's pretty cool. Just like that, we're actually able to build out quickly a few different options. And if we wanted, we can also go in here, and it gives us an available sense of all the different types of data that are living in that cell right now. So now that we've got a few things built out here, we actually have a full table. So I want to show you another cool trick. As I go and type in Starbucks, as a table, it's pulling in and understanding the reference materials. So it knows Starbucks is also a stock. It knows what its NASDAQ symbol is, and it knows what its price is. But in addition to typing in a full company, you can also just type in the NASDAQ ticker, which is pretty cool. So I'll put an FB for Facebook. And just like that, instead of where before Starbucks became the NASDAQ symbol, in this case, the NASDAQ symbol became the company, Facebook. So that's pretty cool. That's one of our first new data types we're excited to bring out to you. And so even if you're not a stockbroker, there's some interesting implications you could imagine getting to play with and just continuing to broaden that horizon in your mind of pulling in information from outside sources to help you really focus inside of the document. So now let's hop over to another data type I'm excited to show you, and I'm going to put in my hometown of Seattle. So here you see it's recognizing our data type is actually a city. And I'm going to go ahead and type in another option here for mayor, and it'll pull in that information as well, which is pretty cool. Again, we have the same choice here. We can even pop in the state. Maybe some people here have traveled internationally, and they want to be reminded of where some of these different cities are. So again, it's that same notion of reference data. And the last thing here I think is really exciting. If you're a bit more of the next step up and you have a sense of all this information available to you and how to really manipulate large chunks of data, we're going to go ahead and act like this is a full cell, because it is. It's a living, breathing cell, just like you would normally do a VLOOKUP, but it's kind of on steroids now, also pulling in content from the web. So right here you can see, as I type in my H, it's recognizing the city types, and I want to go ahead actually and add in when it was incorporated. So if I go ahead here and type it in, you can actually see now it's pulling that H5, which is identifying with Denver, and telling us when that city was incorporated. So that's pretty cool. We're able to actually pull in that live data, make it live inside of one cell, and then use it as its own reference material consistently. So just like that, there's two new ways you can actually manipulate data inside of Excel. And like I said at the start of this talk, I'm not necessarily the biggest pro with Excel, but now I feel like I can get up and running in a lot of simple ways. I like to do some basic investing. This is a nice reference. Or again, if you're a stockbroker type in your workplace, this will be beneficial to you as well. So these are called our new data types, and they'll be rolling out over the next several months. So let's take a look now at one of our next tricks in Excel. So what's the key theme I've been trying to talk to you all about right here? It's whether you're a novice or you're a pro, there's still a lot of benefits to what goes on. And now a lot of you put your hands up here as people that are confident with Excel. But I bet at a certain point, no matter how confident you are with the tool itself or how knowledgeable you are of your industry, when somebody hands you 1,000 rows of data, 10,000 rows of data, it's really hard to grok that. It's really hard to just look through this and skim and get a sense of what is going to be happening and what you're going to learn. In this case, we're pretending that we're a phone company, trying to get a sense of what's been going on with our data, how do our sales look, et cetera. So if I were to just kind of skim up and down this whole table, even though I'm a pro in this imagined scenario, I'm not going to know what sales are doing the best, what countries are my leading places I want to deploy more salespeople for my industry, et cetera. But with our brand new Insights tool, we're actually able to tap into our broader Microsoft Graph and understand how to run all of those permutations. So even if in your mind you have a sense of the questions you think you want to ask, with our Insights service, we can run thousands and thousands of queries in just seconds to get you from high-level insights, like on the right-hand side, we'll look here and notice, simple things like summing your units by generation or year, and then breaking it down into country and generation together. And you can even see built in there the different color coding schemes. So you start to get a feel for what these charts are. And then once something catches your eye, if you want to learn a little more about it, for example, I'm noticing here, our units have been increasing in Japan with our 4G. And as our sales manager, I'm a bit curious of what's really happening there. How can I take action based on this insight? I think I might want to tease out a few more details. So I'm going to go ahead and insert our chart. And what happens here as we kind of step to what I like to call our expert step, you probably noticed we actually just created a pivot table in real time. So that tiny insight now became an actionable and editable pivot table. And so now that I've got a better sense and I can look at this information, I'm going to ask myself, I wonder what operating system is really driving those sales. So I just did that simple drag and drop. And just like that, after a quick step, it's so easy to notice as you break out these two lines in the chart here, the trend. The top guy, Litware, is so clearly the top driver of sales. So what should I do as the sales manager? I should be pushing Litware as the only operating system my business really cares about. So we just went from looking at an unwieldy set of data, thousands of rows. I couldn't personally, maybe you can, but I can't personally grok in my head at once, defining the high-level insights, and then picking the one that's most interesting to me, diving in and trying to find an answer to a question I might not even realize I had in advance. So we're just tapping into that broader network and really amplifying my opportunity to get to an end insight that benefits my business and my customers. It's pretty cool, right? It's pretty different. This looks like something you guys might want to try out when you get back to the office, if you're on Pro Plus, naturally, right? At least my own teammate laughs at my jokes. It's okay, I'll take it. All right, so that's some of the Excel fun. Now I'm going to switch over here to another product I want to walk you guys through today. Yeah.
Data being sent somewhere and processed and come back, or is it all local?
Do you know answer that? So the question is, where is your data going effectively? How are you getting the insights? So I have my Excel teammate here.
Yeah, so the insights currently live within your own data set. It's whatever you have in your sheet at the moment, and then it will pull. It's pulling from the service out. There's a new service we've been developing that will actually develop a sense of what that insight is. So it's leveraging a service that we built internally. It is not sending information about your own data out in the world, so it's not leaving Excel, just so you know. But that's how the service in the backend that we've created that is translating that into an insight for you.
So just to repeat that for the broader audience, effectively, the data is still living inside of Excel, and naturally, you'll of course have the right controls you come to expect from Microsoft with trusting your data and keeping it local to your needs. All right. So let's switch over now to Word. We're taking a look right now at Word Online. Verifying I can see that. And I've got a question for all of you out there. Do you ever feel like you work super hard on writing out a document? Maybe it's a bunch of training materials, it's how-to guides as you deploy new technology to your office, and people are asking you all these questions, and you think to yourself, that was clearly on page 2 of the document I sent to you. Not even page 10, but it was one of the early ones. Do you ever feel like you're doing this? You kind of write out these materials you know are so important. I see you laughing, but nobody reads them, right? It's so frustrating. You take all this time. You make it beautiful. You put in different charts. You put headers, graphs, nothing. All people want to do is go read on the internet, read on their phone. They're checking out their emails on the go, but not that hard work done document put together. So let's just put it out there into the wild. There are a lot of documents that are super important, but they feel boring. It really stinks to say that, but that's the truth. So we're here to help you. You have put so much effort into so many of these materials. And let me tell you something. They're not boring, they are important. Some of them, I bet, are fascinating, and people love this. Other ones, you're just not always going to hook the same person. The TV show I like is not the TV show you like, and that happens in the workforce. So with that in mind, I want to show you a super cool new product we're working on, an experience, in what we call our Word to Sway transformation. Have people heard of Sway before in the audience? We got a few hands. So let me set the scene a little bit of what Sway is. Sway is our latest visual storytelling application. You are able to go ahead and put your content with easy to manage controls into the web, creating a web page-like feel. And in the past, you can pull in different information already and make it living and breathing, but we've taken it one step further. If you've already done the hard work of making this Word document, or you wanted to be able to save time in the future, now we're going to actually let you do something brand new. I'm going to go ahead and click File and head to the familiar Print section. But you'll notice something new here for the very first time in Microsoft. Not just print, but you can print to web. Printing to web effectively will take this Word document and translate it into a Sway that we just mentioned a moment ago. And in here, you can see live previews of different color schemes, how it might look on the desktop, how it might look on your phone, for example. And you can go in and find the one that you really like. So this one resonates with me. I'm going to go ahead and grab in our red one here that's named Muse. And just like that, all right, well, live code demo, I'm sorry. So what we have to do here, naturally, is sign in. And because we are really doubling down on security, we have to input our password while we're demoing. So as we go ahead here and we catch it, what just happened in the background was we converted from a Word document into a Sway. And already look at that. I see some people paying a bit more attention now. I see you a little more like, huh, what's that red screen? What's moving around here?
But not everybody's 80.
That's super fair. That's why we have different capabilities where you can pick the one that works for you and your audience. You're able to put in different ones that have less content. You can have less movements. You can have more pictures, more animations like this. Some people love this Ken Burns effect. Some people, to exactly your point, they'd like something a little simpler. And that's OK. You can go ahead and actually edit the content as well if you want to, right up here. And you can start making different changes in a super simple way to manifest. So we noticed a moment ago, we went from that Word document with the click of a button, a couple authentication fixes later, and all that information you had before is broken out into that table of contents with your information here. You can go ahead and you can even be picking different pictures. It's great. You can retitle the different information. You can move the cards around, etc. It's a really nice aspect of moving from a Word document to a simple, easy-to-use, navigatable web page. Yeah?
What if within the Word document you had some local content that it was linked to or pulling into the document? What happens when you print it to Sway?
That's a great question. I actually have my Sway engineer in the background over there in the corner for support. I think I can see. Ainav, you want to answer that?
I'd have to get back to you on that specific one. Let's follow up after the session.
Thank you for the question, so I don't have the answer on the spot. So with that in mind, also another cool trick is, now that it's sort of a living, breathing document, you can also go to this great table of contents and just scroll through here and find the area you want to talk about. So if you're a bit more familiar, for example, with the page, or you just want to jump in and find that right area, we were talking before maybe about a training material. Some of your users will have Windows 10. Some of them will be using iPhones as well. They want to find the right section relevant to them in their deployment. You can imagine you hop in and find the section for you. And as it goes to the content, you find it right away. We have our charts here as well. So it's really easy to go from that simple to use Word document into a great Sway to really bring things to life. And we've had customers consistently tell us that are working with us on our internal builds, this has saved them tons of time. For example, we've been working with Under Armour on trying to pilot some of this technology, and it's actually pretty fun. They mentioned to us that their lead creator of a lot of their weekly reports and weekly charts, she's actually a graphic designer by nature. And while she feels like, hey, I could probably build something just like this if I had the time, or maybe even more personalized to what I like, but what's actually cool about this is it doesn't take me much effort. I get the data at 2 o'clock on a Friday. I'm required to send it to the company by 4 o'clock in that same afternoon. Even though I might know how to do some graphic design, I don't always have time. So you're empowering someone that's already an expert to do different things. Or maybe you're someone that's not too comfortable with any type of web design in general, or too sure of, hey, does I want this to be a blue color scheme or red one, et cetera. You don't know what's going to really resonate with your audience. Instead, you can just go ahead and click Sway, keep clicking through. And Sway actually has analytics associated with it when you send out the link so that you can understand who's reading your content and really get a better sense for yourself if your original Word document or other approach, maybe like a PowerPoint deck, is resonating with what your audience needs, your end users and business, or if something like a Sway is more applicable to your world. Question?
What is the AI doing converting this? Is it trained to make it more understandable, or how to break it up?
Yeah, so the actual content chunks inside of Word are effectively tagged as it moves over to the Sway system. And once we're able to dissect the different properties of the Word document, Sway takes over with its natural AI-based backend, which is built with different graphic designers and pros over the past couple of years to really have a good sense of recommending all these different styles and approaches.
Is there a way to make it recommend some external audience to have branded, the fonts, all that kind of change?
Yep. Yeah, that's a great question. I'm not sure if at this stage in the beta it can do it as like the original default property or not. But like we were showing a moment ago, inside of this edit functionality, you'll be able to manually put in your logo and such. And something that we're working on the roadmap and trying to evaluate with customers is would they want it to be a default template or not, similar to what we do in PowerPoint. So it's great to hear that question and feedback. Are there any other questions here, or I'm going to move on to another stage of the demo?
Printing. So if people like the document, do you keep a document version and then just keep publishing to the web? Or can you print from here and not have to make changes from here, not have to worry about the document?
So they don't link back and forth at this stage. Once you convert it to the Sway, it's now living effectively as a link that you own, and you can set the permissions level of who has access to viewing it compared to who has access to editing it. You can't print the Sway itself as a web page, but you can also, of course, print the original web document that you had. All right, so I'm going to just move on to the last stage of the demo, and then we'll have about 10 minutes or so for a general Q&A throughout the whole conversation. So the last thing I want to walk you through is our brand new integration with LinkedIn. So let me ask you all one more question. During these types of conferences, do you feel like you meet a lot of people, you collect a lot of business cards, you're excited to reach out to that person, and then maybe you get an email and you forgot who Jane was, you forgot who Larry was from that conversation on Tuesday? Does that ever happen? You're like, who's this person I met? What do we want to talk about? Yeah.
No, that never happened.
No, we've never been there before, right? Well, you might be aware we bought a company called LinkedIn. You might be a little curious of what we're doing with that tiny little tech startup in SF. Well, one of the first things we're really excited to bring to you today is an integration and a brand new version of our profile cards. So profile cards are something you're probably pretty familiar with Office right now. It gives you a good overview. You can hover over the person, you see maybe what their email address is, their phone number, their office, some basics. Well, I want to walk you through a real life scenario with a real teammate and me. So this is Lori we're looking at right now. She's a new MBA hire on my team back in Redmond. And she's focused on an area that I used to work on a lot, education. So I'm sort of one of the resident kind of historians. I know a bit about the past of how Microsoft approaches that discipline. So she reached out to me to say, hey, it'd be great if I can get some of your time. Can you just kind of get me up to speed on some things that you know about? And that feels good, but I want to make sure I have a sense of who she is, maybe a bit of a 360-degree view of her approach to the project and what else she's done. Maybe we'll overlap with some colleagues. So I'm going to go ahead and just hover over Lori here, and you'll probably be drawn to the little blue dot that says View Profile. So I'll go ahead and we'll tap into our LinkedIn profile, and just like that, in a moment, we're pulling in all of the publicly available information from LinkedIn. You'll notice on top, she's a second-degree connection of mine. So everything that you're seeing here is content I could have found if I actually went to LinkedIn in the web, but instead it's streamlined into my experience, bringing that knowledge inside of my day-to-day workflow. So I can look through here. I can see she's only been at Microsoft for a couple of months. Maybe I should go easy on the acronyms we're all so prone to give. And it's cool. She got an MBA at Chicago Booth. I went to school at Michigan, so kind of got a Midwest connection, which I always like to see. After I get a sense of her previous work experience, we'll look at the org chart. And of course, we've had before, who's your manager, who's your chain of command, et cetera. But a nice thing to complement the external pulling in of kind of that LinkedIn information or from the web is also this internal benefit of the Microsoft Graph. I can see some of her other colleagues that she's likely to work with. I notice a good friend of mine, Ari, is someone she works with often. So I can actually connect those people and start thinking about, in a real approachable way, how can I help this teammate more because I know more about her work life. And with that in mind, right before I head to the meeting, I'm actually going to check into our emails, see if we've maybe traded some mails before that I hadn't quite caught. I'm reminding myself, she actually wanted to get some updates on how we talk about Office 365 and OneNote, which are really important to our EDU audience. So I've got the right headspace as I walk into this meeting of what she's going to care about. And then my final trick up my sleeve that I love to do here is you can actually look at all the files you've sent back and forth to each other and shared. And this is super helpful. Before I head into a meeting like this, I actually like to go ahead and just open up the most recent deck we were working on if it's going to be relevant. So I don't have to waste any time sitting down, messing around with files. We can just dive in and really get to know each other or get whatever we need out of our goal for that session. So what we've done with just a simple integration with LinkedIn is really make it possible to think about a bit of what used to feel like that outside world and your internal knowledge base with Office. And just like that in a streamlined experience, have a full 360-degree outlook of who a person is and really just get to common ground faster. And that's super helpful with an internal teammate like this, or like I was saying before, as we meet all different people at the conference that we look forward to working with, you can actually do that same experience with somebody externally. A teammate of mine gave me a stat that about 50% of emails following conferences tend to be from external people that you don't know. So now imagine how nice it'll be when Jane or Larry, like I was saying before, shoot you that mail on Monday. Now you'll have a sense of who they are. You might remember the company they work for and why they might want to chat with you. So just like that, with a lot of our everyday intelligence, we're really feeling excited about what we can do to help you and your end user really find approachable benefits, whether they're a novice or an expert in all different ways across the entire Office suite. So thanks a lot, everyone. That's our demo portion. And if Carol will join me back on stage, we'd love to handle any Q&A you might have. If you've got any questions, if you wouldn't mind coming to the mic would be great. If not, we can just kind of shout back to help out with the recordings.
Yeah. Cool.
The connection with LinkedIn that you just showed, is that something available now or in the future, and if so, when?
It's rolling out now on our OneDrive and SharePoint integrations, but it's not 100% produced yet. It's in insiders.
And so what's the timeline, so it's more broadly available?
Over the next several months or so, it should be towards 100%. In the back?
Will these features also be available on O365 for the Mac?
In general, that's what we're always trying to do is bring cross-platform functionality. We kind of go case by case as we can, but the long term is yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, are there any other features coming into Outlook that we can expect from an AI assistance perspective in terms of organization, I noticed in the beginning you had mention of clutter, obviously moving to focused inbox, but for filing and just trying to keep on top of the massive email traffic that we see every day?
So there are some capabilities not yet announced, I can't say, that are going to be advancing AI in Outlook. But yeah, we're definitely taking a look at Outlook and how we can use AI to make emailing more efficient. And that's all I can really say.
Thanks. Anything else?
Excel on the data types.
Yeah.
Have you thought about, I've got a whole bunch of data sets on premise.
Oh.
How can I make those intelligent data types in Excel?
Can I get your information? I can pass it on to you.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's more, just a common answer on that is that data types will evolve over time. So if you've been interested in feedback, I'd be glad to take your information. You can provide feedback to the team or get request to us.
So it's Jen in the front with the Excel team if you have any specific feedback there to help out.
Great. Any other questions?
Is that a question?
I can't see the lights.
All right.
Nope.
It sounds like we are at a closing. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Greatly appreciate your time.
Enjoy Ignite.